Hello everyone, today I would like to show you a probably not very special car, but one that has really grown on me over the past few years. And I am doing this, I guess you could call it review, to honor this car, because unfortunately it won't get through TÜV anymore, which is our yearly, or not yearly, but every 2 years inspection we have in Germany to get the car approved for the road. And since it would be too expensive to fix everything, I will unfortunately have to give it away. And now here it is, the 1999 Daewoo Lanos. Let's just start by showing the outside a little bit. So as you can see, the car is very unremarkable, but I think that's not really a bad thing, because one thing I have to say while I have driven this car, you do not really get any bad looks from everyone. It might be old and not in the best state anymore, but you do not really get any bad looks from anyone. Also not any positive looks, but I guess I can live with that. So now to also show you the rear of the car, I guess you could say it just looks very much like a regular car. But you can also see a sticker on the back. We have the Lanos Cool Special Edition, which means we get AC by default and also a slightly different interior. So let's continue with the interior. It is, as expected for a 90s car, very minimalistic. We have our dials for heating, which have a very nice and tactile feel. And as I mentioned, our AC button. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it isn't the original head unit anymore in this car. But I figured it was necessary to upgrade it, since Bluetooth was kind of a necessity to at least listen to some music. But apart from the upgraded head unit, pretty much everything is good old and mechanical in this car. We have our very satisfying door locks. We have our manual window cranks. This one unfortunately doesn't do anything anymore. We also have manual mirror adjustment. And also, let me just switch to the ultra-wide camera for this one. We have technically place for 5 people in here, although it is, I'd say, very ambitious to fit 3 people in the back, but technically you could. Also, when we're talking about sitting in this car, the seats are actually very, very comfortable, and for such a little car that is really not meant to drive over long distances, it is really comfortable doing so. So now that I told you a little bit about the exterior and interior of the car, let's also mention the drivetrain. Luckily, we have a 5-speed manual here. This car was also available with a 4-speed auto, but I gotta be honest, I'm glad it's not that, because the 5-speed manual really is the only thing in this car that makes it fun to drive, in my opinion. And also the manual handbrake, of course, that allows for some, let's call it, winter shenanigans. Maybe I can insert a clip from a couple of months ago in here. So now that the 1st of May people moved on, I can show you a little bit more about the car. Powering this vehicle is a 1.4 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with a whopping 75 horsepower and absolutely 0 torque. Also, it has a leaking head gasket, as you can see. But overall, of course, the whole technical side of this car is rather simple compared to modern cars. We have no hybrid system, no complicated electronics whatsoever. We have our battery and our main fuse box over here. But I have to say the engine does still run very smoothly, even though it has the head gasket issue. And it has been for over a year now. So this car just doesn't want to give up. Let's maybe also do a quick little sound check, even though there is not much to hear. So now that I've shown you that, let's maybe take the car for a drive. So now that we're driving, one thing I didn't mention previously, the AC is actually really good, even compared to more modern cars. I don't know if this is because of the American genes or they used some stuff that's illegal nowadays back then, but the AC is really powerful. But as I already or also told you, the engine is not really that powerful. I can just drop a gear into fourth, another one into third, and let's just go full throttle. So that's what was like from 70 to 100. That wasn't particularly quick, I would say. And of course, if you reach higher speeds like these, the wind noise does become very apparent. And of course, even back then, this was a pretty cheap car. And maybe also you can see ABS isn't working anymore, but that's not that important. But still, it is very comfortable to drive, as I already told you about the seats. Also the chassis, or the suspension rather, is very soft, which is good for comfort, but also not very great for, I'd say, dynamic driving. So I kind of ran out of road there, but just to prove my point about the driving dynamics and also the steering not being particularly sporty, I can just do this. I'm not sure how well it comes across on the video, but it's just like rocking from side to side in the boat a little bit. So you definitely won't be winning any races in this car, but it is still somewhat comfortable to drive. And even though if you're in Germany like me, the acceleration is very slow, you eventually still can reach some moderately high speeds. I think 167 kilometers an hour is on the spec sheet of this car. I think the highest documented speed I reached was 181 kilometers an hour, a little bit downhill. But that does feel extremely fast in this car, I can tell you. Another thing that's a little bit funny about this car, the fuel consumption always kind of stays the same. I guess that's to be expected with these very weak engines. But no matter how soft or hard you drive it, you can go full throttle for half an hour on the Autobahn, or you can drive it just really with fuel efficiency in mind. You will always end up at around 6.5 to 7 liters per 100 kilometers in summer, and probably a liter more in winter. That's also something I think is a little bit interesting about this car. So now that I have shown you some of the things this car has to offer, I guess we can come to a conclusion. Let me just turn around here really quickly. That's also something I have noticed now that I'm driving a other bigger car. The turning circle of this car is surprisingly tight, which makes it easily maneuverable. Also, I never really missed any parking sensors or backup camera or whatever in this car. I do sometimes, however, wish for a camera in my newer car. So I guess while it might not be a racing machine, it is definitely pretty easy to drive, of course, apart from the manual, but still better than the 4-speed auto, I'm pretty sure. So now to take a final look at this car from the outside, I just want to say again, I was really happy to be able to drive this car over the past few years. Of course, it is nothing incredibly quick or incredibly sporty or incredible at anything, to be honest, but since this is my first ever car, it is really special and will always keep a special place in my heart. That's also the main reason why I'm doing this video, as I already mentioned in the beginning. Maybe you also have an old car that is, objectively speaking, not very special, but you still keep very fond memory of it. So I hope you liked this video, and this was not the usual Linux themed video on this channel, but as I said, I just wanted to honor this car one last time, so maybe we'll see each other next time.